Mr. Matthew Ford.
Here.
Mrs. Debbie Benoit.
Here.
Mr. Don Crowdis.
Here.
Dr. Bud Kluche. Mr. Roger Dale DeHart.
Here.
Dr. Maybelle Trahan.
Here.
And Mr. Dane Borzan. Mr. Dane Borzan.
Yes. Oh, here, sorry.
Mr. President, you have a quorum.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Brunet. We forgot to do the recognizing of someone who passed away.
Yes.
One moment.
Yes,
Okay.
just a moment of silence, please, for that. For Miss Linda Oquan, she's a retired school bus operator. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Benoit. Number 5, approval of minutes of school board meeting of September 2nd, 2025. Recommendation that the board approve the minutes of school board meeting of September 2nd, 2025 as recorded. So move, Mr. Crowdis.
Second.
Second, Dr. Trahan. Any public comments? Mr. Crowdis? Dr. Trahan?
No, sir.
Other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Number 6, meeting announcements. On October 13th, Indigenous Peoples Day, second Monday in October. On October 13th and 14th, fall break. October 21st at 5 p.m., VFT Committee, Education, Technology, and Policy Committee, Finance, Insurance, and Section 16's Lands Committee, and Executive Committee. On October 20 through 24, National School Bus Safety Week. On October 27th at 4 p.m., ERC, Employee Representative Committee, and at same date, 5 p.m., PRC, Parent Representative Committee. On November 4th at 5 p.m., a regular school board meeting. Number 7, we're going to move over to the Finance, Insurance, and Section 16's Lands Committee. Mr. Crowdis?
Thank you, Mr. President. The Finance, Insurance, and Section 16 Lands Committee met at 5 p.m. on Tuesday, September 16th, 2025, in the boardroom of the School Board Office with the following members present. Mr. Don Crowdis, Chairman. Mr. Dane Voisin was an ad hoc member. Mr. Roger Dale, Vice Chairman, and Mr. Michael Lagarde were absent. Also in attendance were Mrs. Debbie Benoit, Dr. Bud Kuche, Dr. Maybelle Trahan, Mr. Matthew Ford, the Superintendent, and members of his staff. Recommendation number 1, the committee recommends that the board approve and authorize the purchasing department to advertise for bids for ink and toner cartridges. Moved by Mr. DeHart,
Second.
second by Ms. Benoit. Do I have any public comments? Mr. DeHart? Ms. Benoit?
No, no. sir.
Any other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes. Recommendation number 2, the committee recommends that the board approve a one-time salary supplement for fiscal year 2025-2026 in the amount of 5% of each employee's base salary for all full-time employees and all regularly scheduled 20 hours per week, part-time employees employed as of November 3rd, 2025. Funds to be derived from the half-cent sales tax fund payable in November 2025.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Benoit. I have a second by Mr. DeHart. I have a call by Mr. Matt Ford for a unanimous second. Do I have any objections to that? No objections. We will call for a unanimous second. And just still go to the public?
No, you don't.
Don't need to? I still go to, okay. Any comments by the public? No comments? Are there any comments? Any comments by the board members? Any objections to this motion? Hearing none, the motion passes.
Mr. Crowdis?
Yes, sir.
Just want to say thanks for that unanimous second. It goes a long way with our employees, well deserved by them.
Yes, sir.
And it speaks volumes that we're going to do this for them. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Appreciate it. Recommendation number 3, the committee recommends that the board approve and accept a one-time salary supplement as provided by the 2025 regular session of the legislature for those employees included in the funding plan in the amount of $2,000 for all full-time K through 12 teachers and professional employees, and $1,000 for all full-time non-instructional support employees, funds to be derived from state funding, and further, approve a one-time salary supplement in the amount of $2,000 for all full-time pre-kindergarten, early childhood teachers, adult education teachers, and professional employees, and $1,000 for all full-time pre-K and early childhood and adult education non-instructional support employees, excluded from the Louisiana funding plan, funds to be derived from the general operating fund for all full-time employees who are employed as of December 1st, 2025, supplement to be paid on December 12th, 2025. Have a motion by Mr. Ford, seconded by Dr. Trahan. Do I have any public comments? Mr. Ford? Dr. Trahan?
No, sir.
Do I have any other comments from any other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes. Recommendation number 4. The committee recommends that the board approve and accept a one-time differentiated compensation supplement for 2025-26 as provided by the 2025 regular session of the legislature based upon guidelines set forth by the legislature and BESI to address recruitment and retention needs, funds to be derived from state funding, stipend to be paid no later than May 29, 2026.
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Benoit. I have a second by Mr. Ford. Do I have any public comments? Ms. Benoit?
No, sir.
Mr. Ford? No, sir. Do I have comments from any other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes. We did get an update by Ms. Klingman regarding the taxes collected, and we had an increase of 4.37% compared to July of 2024, which was good news. There being no further business to come before the Finance Committee, the committee was adjourned at 5:17 p.m. Mr. President, I turn the meeting back over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Crowdis. At this time, we're going to move into the Executive Committee. Mrs. Benoit, please.
Thank you. The Executive Committee met immediately following the 5 p.m. Finance, Insurance, and Section 16 Lands Committee on Tuesday, September 16th, in the boardroom of the School Board Office with the following members present. Mr. Boisan, President, myself as Vice President, Mr. Michael LaGuard was absent. Also in attendance were Dr. Kluche, Dr. Trahan, Mr. Ford, Mr. Crowdis, Superintendent Ogeron, and members of the staff. The Executive Committee examined and authorized payments of invoices for the current month, including supplemental payroll and travel expenses. There were no committee concerns, and being no further business, the Executive Committee ended at 5:19 p.m. Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion to accept.
Motion by Mr. Boisan, second by Mr. Crowdis. Any public comment? Mr. Boisan?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Crowdis? Any board members? Any objections? Hearing none, so moved. There being no other business, we are adjourned.
Thank you, Mrs. Benoit. At this time, we'll move into Buildings, Food Service, and Transportation Committee. Dr. Trahan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Dear members of the board, the Buildings and Food Service and Transportation Committee met immediately following the 5 p.m. Finance, Insurance, and Section 16 Lands Committee and the Executive Committee meetings on Tuesday, September 16, 2025, in the boardroom of the School Board Office with the following members present. Myself, Chair, Mr. Dane Boisan, Mr. Gregory Harding, also in attendance were Mr. Ford, Mr. Crowdis, Ms. Benoit, Dr. Cloche, Superintendent Ogeron, and members of his staff. Recommendation number 1. The committee recommends that the board approve the request of Thibodeau Baseball Association and waive policy 5E-1.6, use of school facilities relative to the usage fees for school facilities for the Southdown Elementary School gym and the Terrebonne High School baseball field for referee training for the Louisiana High School Athletic Association on November 15, 2025, from 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. for training only, provided that the organization reimburse Terrebonne Terrebonne Parish School District for the related custodial costs, all necessary insurance, nonprofit status, and all other school board policy requirements are met, and approval is obtained from the school's principal. Moved by Mr. Ford,
Second.
second by Mr. Voisin. Any public comment? Mr. Ford. Mr. Voisin.
No, ma'am.
Any other board members? Any objections? None heard, so ordered. Recommendation number 2. The committee recommends that the board approve the issuance of a notice to proceed as per contractual agreement to Sheremy Bruce Architects for plans and specifications for the security fencing project at Schriever Elementary School. Establish a budget in the amount of $157,307. Funds to be derived from the building fund. Authorize the advertising of bids. Direct that any major project changes be reported to the Buildings and Food Service Transportation Committee prior to advertising of bids, and further authorize the board president or superintendent to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto.
So moved.
So move, Mr. Voisin. Second by Mr. Crowders. Any public comment? Mr. Voisin.
No, ma'am.
Mr. Crowders.
No, ma'am.
Any other board members? Any objections? None heard, so ordered. Recommendation number 3. The committee recommends that the board approve the issuance of a notice to proceed as per contractual agreement to Sheremy Bruce Architects for plans and specifications for the security vestibule project at Acadian Elementary School. Establish a budget in the amount of $369,717. Funds to be derived from the building fund. Authorize the advertising of bids. Direct that any major project changes be reported to the Buildings, Food Service, and Transportation Committee prior to advertising of bids, and further authorize the board president or superintendent to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Crowders, second by Mr. Ford. Any public comment? Mr. Crowders.
I think I asked it to you, Mr. Superintendent, but we still have several schools to work on regarding the safety vestibule, right?
Yes, sir.
About how many roughly? Can you remember off the top of your head?
How many more we have left? Well, so counting all the new buildings that are gonna get them built in when we, built those schools, we're probably about halfway through.
About halfway?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious, someone was asking me about that the other day,
Mhm.
so I just wanted to.
And yeah, the pacing is due to the cost, as you can see.
Yeah.
They're not as cheap as we may have thought initially.
Okay, that's all I had.
Mr. Ford. Mr. Dior.
I don't disagree with your comment, Mr. Mondurant, but I do think elementary schools, to me, is a priority for me on my parish-wide.
Mhm.
And there are some current buildings that need this, so I'm just saying, I know we stretch the dollars as best we can, but I really believe we gotta work a little harder on it and emphasize on safety for schools, parish-wide. I know we both focusing on that, but I don't agree with this, the new buildings. I'm just saying, the permanent buildings that's there now, there is a need for that too.
Mhm. Yes, sir.
We can address it in committee again. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other board members? Any objections? None heard, so ordered. Number 4, the committee recommends that the board approve and accept the lowest bid received, meeting all specifications for the Terrebonne High School softball field at Homer Junior High School, Phase 2, from Thompson Construction Company Incorporated, Post Office Box 187, Thibodaux, Louisiana, in the amount of $458,000. Established a total budget in the amount of $557,989,000 from the building fund, and further authorize the board president or superintendent to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto.
So moved.
So, Mr. Crowders, do I have a second? Second by Mr. DeHart. Any public comment? Mr. Crowders?
Mr. Superintendent?
Yes, sir.
Will this complete the phases?
Yes, sir.
This will be
Yes, sir.
it?
Yes, sir.
Mr. DeHart?
The scope of work, is that gonna be not just the building, bleachers and stuff too, or what?
Yes, sir. It's a bleacher, a large set of bleachers. We put a small temporary one just to finish the season last year. We're gonna move that one to the outfield wall. We're gonna put a big set behind home plate, concession stand, press box, two-story press box, and a little sink and cleaning area down with sidewalks connecting everything together.
No
Yep.
canopy with the bleachers. After that,
No, no.
it's just been.
It's gonna be an exact replica of what we did at Ellender and South Terrebonne. All the same features. Yes, sir.
Is that it, sir? Mr. Ford?
So I know I've brought it up before. I just want to encourage you guys to look at H.L. Bourgeois' field and try to bring them up to speed. And I did have a question regarding the annual maintenance cost. Will that be covered by the district, or is that something that schools are going to have to budget into their operating costs?
Fields.
Fields.
So, we give them, each school approximately 10 grand for field maintenance a year. That covers whatever they need to kind of get done on the field. That pretty much suffices.
Should cover it?
Should
Okay.
cover it.
Okay.
Not just the softball, that's the field maintenance in general.
Yeah, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other board members? Any objections? None heard, so ordered. Recommendation number 5. The committee recommend that the board approve and accept the lowest bid received, meeting all specifications for the South Terrebonne High School modular classroom building site work project from Thompson Construction Company Incorporated, Post Office Box 187, Thibodaux, Louisiana, 70302, in the amount of $548,000, and accept the alternate in the amount of $23,000 to add adjoining canopy to connect entire walkway. Establish a total budget in the amount of $619,515, funds to be derived from the funding from the building fund, and further authorize the board president or superintendent to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Voisin. Do I have a second for discussion? Second for discussion by Mr. Ford. Any public comment? Mr. Voisin.
Yes, ma'am. I'm not sure what the year was, the facility study. That was when you were president.
That would have been 2020.
2020, okay. So that was done, and a lot of things, I think that was discussed, was to try to get away from portables at all schools. And the other night, we had a demonstration or the visual of what they wanted to do at South Terrebonne with the portables here, or the, what you call them? Modulars. Thank you very
Same
much.
thing.
Yeah, similar. Of course, I brought up it would be ideal if we could have a wing added, something more permanent, something more that would help the community and you know, for overall. I know it would be a little more pricey, but, so I'd really like to see that. And I do have a substitute motion. I guess we need to discuss it first. Is that how we go about it, or?
If you offer a substitute motion.
Okay. Offer up the substitute. So the substitute motion would say, the committee recommends that the board reject all bids for the South Terrebonne High School modular classroom building site work project number 2025-01-STHMS, and that the board approve the issuance of a notice to proceed as per contractual agreement to Jeremy and Bruce Architects for plans and specifications for the 8-classroom permanent wing at South Terrebonne High School, establish an approximate budget in the amount of $3,605,845, funds to be derived from the building fund, authorize the advertising of bids, direct that any major project changes be reported to the Buildings, Food Service, and Transportation Committee prior to advertising of bids, and further authorize the board president to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto.
So moved.
Second by Ms. Bidwell. Moved by Mr. Voisin. Any public comments?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because I'm-
second.
Mr. Voisin, any further comment?
Not at this moment, maybe
Ms.
listening to
Bidwell.
discussion.
Yeah, I'm definitely in favor of a permanent building rather than a portable. I mean, you can call it modular, trailer, whatever, it's the same basic thing. And this facility study that we did was a lot of time and effort. We had the whole community involved in it. We have used that as our plan to move forward with, in replacing the buildings that we lost during the hurricane and the damages that we incurred. And we looked at that as a plan to move forward with what we've done. I think we'd be remiss in not moving forward with this effort as well that we talked about. I mean, this has been a board discussion for a long time about getting rid of the portables, you know, eventually. And we've worked towards that and have done that. And so why go back to it? I'm just not against it. And I think it's worth spending more money to get something permanent there at South Terrebonne. We're building a school right next to it. We already have a lot of students that are going to be coming through to South Terrebonne. We know we need that school. We need the space that's this wing would accommodate for us. So, yeah, I'm totally in favor of spending the additional money.
Thank you, Ms. Bidwell. Mr. Ford.
Let me be direct in stating initially that I am for the permanent building solution as opposed to any modular or portable or whatnot. You know, there's a movie years ago, Field of Dreams, and the motto was, if you build it, they will come, right? And that's kind of been our mantra here for a while now. In particular, when we built and refurbished 3 softball fields where we spent just about the same amount of money as we would have been on these portables. So that's one thing that I want to point out, that we don't want to overextend ourselves, but this is a worthy investment in my opinion. And I do want to mention that we spent approximately $12 million on a similar expansion at Mulberry Elementary School shortly after Ida, and that was in the plans originally as well. That was from the same committee, if I remember correctly. And, you know, there's been a silver lining after Ida that we ended up with all these new schools, these new schoolhouses. So we've been very fortunate that we've been able to refurbish and rebuild and renew a lot of our schools. But what if it would have happened on the west side, and the east side would have been where we had to platoon and try to accommodate those students? That would have been a nightmare. H.L. Bourgeois was much better equipped than South Terrebonne. Terrebonne was a little better equipped than Ellender, but definitely on that front. So, you know, who knows? It could be the next storm we get could end up hitting the west side and we have to platoon to the east side. So that's just something to think about. But the biggest thing that motivates me to want to do something permanent is because of the clientele we will be serving in those modulars, primarily. I'm not saying exclusively, but primarily we'd be serving those SPED kids. And I know, as a former special education teacher and someone that's, you know, near and dear to those kids, I want them to have the same high school experience as every one of their classmates. And they may never notice the fact that they're in a modular building, but there is something to be said about putting special ed kids in a modular building versus putting them in a brick and mortar. And I think part of that high school experience is the opportunity to intermingle with their classmates, the regular ed students, the band students, the STEM students. So I think this would be an opportunity for us to really be inclusive and have them in that same building and have them feel like they're experiencing high school like they should be. So I'm all on board with it. Yes, it's a little more money and it's going to take us a little bit longer, but I think the South Terrebonne community would accept this and the extension that it would take as far as building. So I'm all for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. Any more board members? Mr. Crowell,
No, go ahead.
Mr. Crowell was first? Okay.
Yeah.
I do appreciate all the comments from my board members. I wasn't here during those initial discussions, and I understand where you guys are coming from. However, I do kind of feel that, you know, sometimes in life, you kind of make plans, and then something happens, and then you have to sort of reassess and kind of maybe pivot a little bit. You know, kind of looking at the enrollment of the school, it's been consistently declining. You look at you know, those lower lying areas that are subject to the hurricanes. You look at the rates of insurance that are doing nothing but climbing. I just think, and it's not necessarily, you know, regardless of who would be in the modular building. I think the modular buildings are functional for sure to do the job of what you're doing or what you're needing it to do. And to me, it's not really who's in the modular buildings, whether it's special ed, regular ed, cheer, whomever. And as far as the cost and the price goes, it's not a little bit more expensive. It's nearly 10 times the cost when you look at the pricing. You know, you're talking nearly $4 million versus, you know, between plans 1 and 2, let's just narrow it to about 450 or so, 450,000. So for me, I think that for the things that we have left remaining to do, I just feel like this would be a more efficient plan for the needs of what we're having currently, and then again, a continuing declining enrollment. That's just my opinion on this one. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Crowder. Mr. LaGuardia.
Yeah, Mr. Crowder's made some good points, but I also like what Mr. Ford said. But when we looked at the list, we had that list, and to be honest, we never really used it a whole lot. Did y'all look at it and see where that was at on the list? Did y'all look at the list and saw, was it number 5, number 10 on that list we had when we did that study? Where was it on the list?
I don't think we rank ordered the projects on it.
Okay,
I can recall that it was in a list of things to focus on,
okay.
like in no particular order. Not specific schools, but just eliminate.
Well, I remember the list. It was further down the list, to be honest with you, because we had other major problems. But if we have the money, I'm not against it. You know, if we have the money to do it, how long it's going to take, the process? Anybody know?
2 years.
And when we looking at getting it 2 years after we move into the school, when it
2
be
years
finished?
from approval.
So when are we looking at, December? This December to get back in the school?
January 28th,
No, for us with the kids,
January 26th.
to get back in.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the portables, will they be, where the new wing at? What we doing with the portables?
He doesn't know where we're looking.
What we doing with them
It's
If we build a wing,
if we build a wing?
to be determined. There's options on campus to do it for some different field houses and things like that, but that's to be determined.
So I
think
guess
that
what
would
I'm
be
saying,
utilized.
the money is not an issue. I'm asking. We have no problem in spending the money. We won't have a problem down the line that we need the money. So the funds is covered. If the funds covered, you know, I'm not against it. If we could, you know, use it, I'm for it.
Thank you, Mr. LaGuardia. And Mr. Harding.
Thank you, Doc. I appreciate all the comments from the board members, but let me kind of go back down memory lane, what we're trying to accomplish. Let's go back to H.L. Bourgeois. When you built H.L. Bourgeois, we should have put a football stadium there. The Grand Collie Elementary, we should have put a gym there. Grand Collie Middle. And we talking about adding a wing when, of course, I wasn't in favor of, but the board was in favor of building a brand new school down Grand Collie. A brand new school. So I think this is the more prudent thing to do, to go on and add this wing, let's not make some of the same mistakes that the boards before us made. When you're in there, take care of what needs to be taken care of while you're there. And also, it was something that we had done a long time ago, but some of you board members here, we was trying to get rid of marginals. We was definitely trying to get rid of them. So this is an opportunity again for us to eliminate the marginal buildings. And I respect Mr. Crowder in his opinion, but I think that, you know, while we got the chance, we need to go and just take care of this here and get it done. Won't have to worry about it again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harding. Any other board members?
Yeah, I had my name.
Ms. DeHart.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in opposition to this substitute motion, I'd like to make some facts that I believe in. If we had a fund balance and don't have to rob Peter to pay Paul down the road, I'm in support very strongly with a lot of comments everybody said, if we had a fund balance that is never going to be bankrupt. We need classrooms parish-wide, whether it's portable buildings or permanent buildings. I don't disagree with that. But what I'm saying to you is that many years, almost 35 years of seeing construction going on for hurricanes and many different hurricanes and damage. Some schools didn't have any. And yes, we'd like to upgrade them, but I'm gonna tell you right now, we have a lot of responsibility to get classrooms. And whenever they was talking about special ed kids, you know, being in modular buildings or portable buildings, I do remember some portable buildings that we built a ramp to get people that was in wheelchairs and stuff in those schools, and it worked. And it was very safe and done very right. So what I'm saying to you is that if we had the funding, I would have no objection to this motion. But I'm telling you right now, if we use that amount of money, there's going to be a shortfall somewhere. And I'm not here talking in one area. I'm talking about Terrebonne Parish as a whole. And every school needs classrooms that's been damaged. And to say permanent, I wish I could fix every school that's got destroyed. And I'm not using it, Eleanor, to be an example, but Eleanor got destroyed. Guess what? I'd love to build that permanent. But if we did that, we couldn't do anything else. And all I'm saying is that the time's going to come. But right now, we're important to have instruction in the classroom. And I think we need classrooms before we need all of this here. And yes, I really would prefer having a permanent building, but we just don't have the means to do that. Because if we do that tonight, if the board votes this in, hey, that's what this board is here for, to vote what they think is right. But at the same time, down the road, some schools are going to be left out or be delayed. And to delay instruction is not on my calendar. Thank you.
Mr. Walker.
Yes, again, thank you, board members, fellow board members on all of those. It's very good points. Just looking at, and I'm not sure what year it was, but when we look at the 4 high schools, we look at H.L. Bourgeois, that new wing was added, I don't know when, 10 years ago or so, you know, very nice wing, you know, improved that school dramatically. We're looking at Terrebonne High School, total renovations, going to be spectacular, right? And then what can we say about Ellender? Ellender, once it's done, it's going to be the state-of-the-art, you know, school. It's going to be phenomenal, right? So it's just to kind of bring them all together, kind of on the same level, you know, and I don't think any of the other 3 are going to have any portables or modulars. So, you know, just comparing and just trying to keep us all at the same level, really would like to see that done, but it's up to you guys. Thank you.
Any other comments? Mr. Harding.
Mr. Orgeron, apparently, Mr. DeHart have different numbers than we have. I mean, can you enlighten us on what Mr. DeHart is saying? Because, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out where he got his numbers from, information.
Which numbers in particular?
Well, I mean, he said we have a downfall down the road. I'm just trying to figure out where is that coming from? Where are those numbers coming from?
Well, I guess, and I'm going to speak for you, but it's going to exhaust the balance of the building fund.
Correct.
And there are other projects, including multiple schools that need really expensive HVAC systems to the tune of $2.5 million apiece.
Right.
I
got
think
it.
that's what you were referring
Yes,
to,
sir.
sir? So that's the numbers. We have the money, Mr. Gordon, you asked, do we have the money? We have the money to do it. We
Yes,
do.
sir.
We
And do the HVACs for the other school as well?
We do, but we're gonna be dipping into some sales tax accounts, which we have money there for, but we're dipping into that. And we didn't pay down our Timpson portion of FEMA. That's another looming cost down the line that we've got to prepare for. We don't need to do that tomorrow, we don't need to do that in the next couple, 3 years. It's a ways off. But we've got to start preparing for that big chunk of money. Right now, we're guessing it's gonna be about 11 million. Okay? Because we have other sources that's gonna cover, we're talking over $200 million, so 10% of that is 20. We've paid down some of it already, so we're looking at about, this is rough, very rough, 11. Down the line, do we have that? It's stretching, and it's stretching us real thin. That's the whole reason for the initial recommendation. Time and money.
Thank you, Mr. Harding. Anyone else?
I
Ms.
just,
Bennett.
well, the sales tax dollars have been increasing
Yes, ma'am.
at a high rate recently. And, I mean, those are areas that we get our revenue from to plug into the building fund and the sales tax dollars to help us pay. I also thought what Mr. DeHart was saying was that we never know what's gonna happen down the road. I mean, we never know.
That's right.
We never know. If that's the case, we could never move forward with anything. So, I feel like we will have the money to do that.
Mr. DeHart.
And I'm not trying to be argumentative, and I'm not being disrespectful, but we just approved giving our employees an increase in salary, which is very worthy, and I don't think anybody objected to that because it was unanimous. But at the same time, those people make a difference for the education of all of our students. That's what we're here for. And all I'm saying to that came out of some of the sales tax because it went up from years past, which that's the way I understood it. So what I'm saying, if we keep taking out of every account to do something for any school, permanent, over trying to do things to make sure all the schools are fixed good enough or modular buildings is there for instruction, we need the employees to do it and maintenance, and that's why I'm just saying, I'm totally for that. But if we keep stretching that dollar, it's not gonna stretch too much more, it's gonna tear. And whenever it tears, somebody's gonna be left out. And I'm not being disrespectful, that's just my opinion, and I'm gonna stick with it. Thank you.
Mr. Crowers.
Yeah, just one last comment. I caution us to make decisions today about potential monies in the future. We really can't assume that the monies will automatically be there. And I think sometimes it's better to be, rather than what's necessary for, say, aesthetics, to maybe make a decision based upon prudence and what's going to be efficient for the moment. That's just my last comments. Thank you, guys.
Mr. Crowers. Mr. Wasserman.
Yeah, just to comment, Mr. DeHart, thank you for that. But when we're talking about stretching the dollars and money's coming from this and that, and you mentioned salaries and paying teachers, that's a total different fund. We can't touch that money, what's earmarked for it. I just wanted to make sure I understood. Okay, nothing against you. Just that's earmarked for salaries, and we had the money there, so therefore, that's why we gave that supplement. And hopefully, more money to them later down the road. Yeah, so just a comment on that. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
If I may, I came to the meeting tonight pretty much on the fence, not sure which way I was gonna go. But hearing all of this has made up my mind. We can't put a Band-Aid on a problem. The more we harden our district, the stronger we build our buildings, the less we're gonna have to repair and replace the next time we have a storm. Grand Kaya Middle withstood Ida. Why? Because she was built to new standards. Upper Kaya didn't, because it wasn't built to new standards. It had been there for a while. It was not built to withstand a storm. Now, why back then they decided to use that building, maybe that's just how things were done then, I don't know. But it just fell apart like a house of cards. If it's built strong enough, it will last. What we're doing here will bring us many decades into the future for all these schools, where we will be able to harden our district schools, where when the next storm comes in, we will have a lot less to deal with. So that's where I'm going to be coming from. So I support the building. Any other comments?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Dior?
I apologize for being very vocal tonight. I just don't want to face down the road, whether I'm on this board or not on this board, to have classrooms available for every kid in Terrebonne Parish. That's what I'm really focusing on. And all I'm saying to you that as many years as we served, we had to go sometime and sell bonds. That's an avenue to get more revenues. But right now, that's a process that takes a while. All I'm saying is that, to me, I would love to have every school that got destroyed for the storm to be permanent right away. But we don't have the funding for that. But yet, I'm just saying, right now, what I've learned about these options, 1, 2, and 3, is that some of the plans is, to get more classrooms. That's what I'm focusing on. Classrooms that are needed, not just adding classrooms. But right now, sales tax is bringing in more money, whether we're getting it from there or whatever. All I'm saying to you is that right now, people are struggling right now, and people are moving because I'm just saying they can't afford different things. I can't control that. But what I'm saying to you is I got to take care of the kids that are here. I took an oath to be here for children, and I would love to have a Taj Mahal for every one of them, but that's impossible for me to accomplish. But I want instruction, classroom, air conditioning, and I'm not trying to belittle the things. We have needs throughout our parish for air conditioning. We've done spent millions of dollars from ESSA money. Guess what? Now we got to dip into, whether it's our general fund, building fund, or sales tax. We have the means to do it, but we got a big scope of work to do, not just, and it's not about what school it is, it's about trying to make sure everybody has a classroom available. Because I don't want to overload classrooms and the instruction goes down. And I won't say anymore. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ford.
Call for roll call vote for the substitute motion.
What you're voting for is to accept the substitute motion in
Exactly.
place of the other. Then you'll have to vote on that motion.
Exactly.
Would you repeat that, please, Ms. Catherine?
We are voting to accept the substitute motion, and then we have to
Yes.
vote to approve the substitute
Roll
motion.
call.
Yes, I'd like to have a roll call vote, voice vote on that. Okay. So how we'll do that is we're doing the substitute
Doing the substitute?
motion.
Yes.
Substitute, and we'll say yay or nay. Yay for,
Yes.
nay against.
Yes.
That's all good, guys and ladies? Sorry. Okay.
All right. Mr. Lagarde? Voice,
Yay.
okay. Mr. Harding?
Yay.
Mr. Ford?
Yay.
Mrs. Benoit?
Yes.
Mr. Crowdis?
No.
Dr. Cluche is absent. Mr. Dehart?
No.
Dr. Mabel Trahan?
Yay.
And Mr. Dane Voisin?
Yay.
8 voting, 2 nays, 2 objections by Mr. Crowdis and Mr. Dehart. I have 6 yays, 1 absent, Dr. Cluche. The substitute motion passes.
So now we vote on the
Now you
motion.
vote on the motion itself.
Okay. We're doing this with the lights?
No, let's just do voice vote.
Roll call,
Yes.
voice? Okay.
All right. Mr. Michael Lagarde?
Yay.
Mr. Gregory Harding?
Wait, 1 second.
You want me
So
to-
the vote that you just had was to accept the substitute motion in place of the original motion.
Okay.
So now the motion on the floor is whether or not to accept the substitute motion.
To
Okay.
approve the substitute.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Double yay.
Okay, Mr. Lagarde?
Yay.
Mr. Gregory Harding?
Yes.
Mr. Matthew Ford?
Yay.
Mrs. Debbie Benoit?
Yay.
Mr. Don Crowdis?
Nay.
Dr. Bud Cluche is absent. Mr. Roger Dale DeHart,
No.
Dr. Maybelle Trahan,
Yay.
Mr. Dane Voisin.
Yay.
All votes are in. Dr. Cluche is absent. We have 2 objections, Mr. Crowdis and Mr. DeHart, and we have 6 yeas. The substitute motion passes.
Mr. Voisin's alternative substitute motion,
motion.
passes.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
And I believe that being no further business to come before Building and Food Service and Transportation Committee, the meeting was adjourned at 6:32 PM. I return the meeting to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Trahan. And we'll move into the Education, Technology, and Policy Committee. Mrs. Benoit?
Thank you, Mr. President. The Education, Technology, and Policy Committee met immediately following the 5 PM Finance, Executive, and Building, Foods, Service, and Transportation Committee meetings on Tuesday, September 16th, 2025, in the school board room, in the boardroom of the school board office with the following members present: Dr. Cluche, myself, as vice chair, Mr. Matthew Ford. In attendance also was Mr. Voisin, Dr. Trahan, Mr. Crowdis, Superintendent Ogeron, and members of his staff. The first recommendation was that the committee recommends that the board approve and accept the following revised policy file B-14 administrative records.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Voisin,
Second.
second by Mr. Ford. Any public comment? Mr. Voisin?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Ford?
No, ma'am.
Any committee board members? Any objections? Hearing none, so moved. The second recommendation is that the committee says that the board approve and accept as presented revision to the 25-26 pupil progression plan.
So moved.
Moved by Dr. Trahan.
Second.
Second by Mr. Ford. Any public comment? Dr. Trahan?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Ford?
No, ma'am.
Any board members? Any objections? Hearing none, so moved. There being no further business, we were adjourned.
Thank you, Ms. Benoit. We'll move into number 8, Superintendent's Agenda.
Just off agenda, just for a brief moment, LaCash has been extinguished.
Okay.
It's all taken care of. If y'all knew, it was on, had a little fire at LaCash School, so this should be good. Okay, item A1 is a resolution in observance of National School Bus Safety Week, October 20th to the 24th, 2025. The recommendation is that the board approve the following resolution, recognizing October 20th through the 24th, 2025 as National School Bus Safety Week.
So moved.
So move, Mr. DeHart. We'll have a second. Second, Dr. Trahan. Any public comments? Mr. DeHart?
No, sir.
Dr.
Thank you.
Trahan? Other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes.
Okay. Number 2 is a resolution in observance of the month of October 2025 as National Bullying Prevention Month. The recommendation is that the board approve the following resolution in observance of the month of October 2025 as National Bullying Prevention Month.
So moved.
So move, Ms. Benoit.
Second.
Second, Mr. Ford. Any public comments? Ms. Benoit?
No, sir.
Mr. Ford?
No, ma'am.
Other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes.
Okay, item 3 is a resolution declaring the month of November 2025 as Native American Indian Heritage Month in the Terrebonne Parish School System. The recommendation is that the board approve the following resolution declaring the month of November 2025 as Native American Indian Heritage Month in the Terrebonne Parish School System.
So moved.
So move, Mr. DeHart.
Second.
Second, Ms. Benoit. Any public comments? Mr. DeHart?
No, sir.
Ms. Benoit?
No, sir.
Other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes.
Okay, number 4, consideration of approval of a bid received for campus moving services for South Terrebonne High School. The recommendation is that the board approve and accept the lowest bid received, meeting all specifications for the campus moving services bid at South Terrebonne High School from 2 Men and a Truck, Lafayette, 208 Easy Street, Lafayette, Louisiana, 70506, in the amount of $25,280. Funds to be derived from FEMA reimbursement funds, 22,752, and the disaster fund, $2,528, and further authorize the board president and superintendent to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto.
So moved.
So moved, Dr. Traha.
Second.
Second, Ms. Benoit. Any public comments? Dr. Traha? Ms. Benoit?
No, sir.
Other board members? Yes, sir, Mr. DeHart?
Mr. Orgeron, where are they moving the stuff to?
From the modulars across the little driveway into the new building.
And you said how much?
25 grand.
25 grand.
People couldn't do that.
That's a little bit.
That was the lowest bid?
It's over holidays. Yeah, well,
That's the
I
name
don't,
of
I
the
was saying
And where that money's coming out of, what account?
FEMA.
FEMA? I thought you said. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that, please.
It does exist.
It's a good business to be in, right?
Yeah, it is. Any objections, anyone? Any board members, objections? Hearing none, motion passes.
Okay, number 5, personnel section, personnel actions for the period of August 22nd, 2025 through September 26th, 2025. That's for your information only, board members. And that concludes superintendent's agenda.
Thank, no, that's,
I think that's
We're
going to be
talking about
Mr.
number
Waze.
Yeah, that's
Yes, sir.
okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Ogeron. So number 9, individual school board member, myself as president, matter pertaining to advertising process for the superintendent of schools. Board members, placed at your desk tonight is a set of draft documents to be used for the superintendent's search process and has been reviewed by our board attorney, and Mr. Stan Duval. A draft of the timeline only has been placed at the table in the back pending board approval. The same process that we did about 3 years ago. We're doing the same thing. It worked well. We're actually providing more information this time. We're actually going above and beyond what the requirements are. Believe me, we are being truly transparent. So the recommendation that the board begin the advertising process for the superintendent of schools pursuant to policy file 3-3.1 and did I say that right? C-3.1 and C-3.3. Approve and presented the search process for superintendent, inclusive of superintendent application form, an interview timeline, search committee to be utilized as needed, and timeline for superintendent appointment, and further designate Dr. Deborah Yarbrough, Director of Human Resources, to oversee the process. Information to be placed at your desk tonight. So move, Mr. Ford.
second.
Second, Dr. Traha. Dr. Traha, or either one, okay. Any public comments? Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name's Richard Watkins, resident of home at 9 Glen Oaks Drive. I think this is probably the most important decision this board will make in the near term. And about a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I emailed all the school board members, asking them for this process. The ones that did answer referred me to the president. The president answered me, said it was going to be revealed tonight.
Yes, sir.
I came earlier today to get the packet so I could get to see this, so I could at least analyze it and think about it. Wasn't available. It was only available when I walked in the door tonight. I just don't think that gives us anybody, board members, myself, the public, enough time to really digest it and ask intelligent questions. So like number 1, the search committee members to be utilized as needed. What does that mean?
Okay, so what I'll
Who is
take-
on the search committee, I should ask first.
Okay, so I'm going to go through that in a little bit. I'm going to read through the draft timeline.
Okay.
But- And the main purpose, we don't put this out because it was a draft, and it could change. You know, so we have to, the board has to vote on this tonight before we
Right.
want to put it out. We don't want the public to get their eyes on this, and then we start making changes. So, you know, and then public's going to, the media and all that's going to come after us like we don't know what we're doing. So that's the purpose, you know, nothing against anyone, but,
Right,
you know, it was
but wouldn't you want
provided to-
public input on it?
I'm sorry?
Wouldn't you want board member input on it? So, I mean, would you circulate it to them first and let them comment on it? I think it's the first time they've seen it tonight, too.
Well, we're going to do that tonight if they have any
Okay, so they-
questions.
they didn't give you
still have to
advance
approve
notice.
Approve it.
When will it be finally approved?
We're going to be approving this
Is that
time
tonight?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, a couple of more questions. You're posting on the Terrebonne Parish School Board and Louisiana School Board Association websites In my experience, I think this job is so important, it should be published nationally, even to the point where you hire a national search firm to go out and get the best candidate you can possibly find. Now, that candidate may be sitting right next door in the house, but it does the parish and the kids and the education system no justice not to know what's out there and compare our internal candidates to the best candidates out there. I think that search would be money well spent. The opening of the applications received Stan Duval, Deborah Yarbrough, and are you the only three guys that are going to choose which applicants are going to make it through that process to be interviewed, or is that the entire search committee going to do that?
No, I'm going to talk about the search committee later.
So you can't answer, okay, so you'll
Yeah, I'll
let us
address all of
know.
that, yeah.
And then in your policy, C3.3, it says you only really have to publish it in the Courier and in one paper in excess of 100,000 persons that is nearest to the school board office, which is the Advocate. So that limited exposure, I mean, I just don't think it gives the board the best opportunity to view the biggest pool of candidates. It has to be a broader reach.
We are going beyond that, we are.
Okay. Well, so you're going to answer some of these questions tonight?
I will go
Okay.
through the timeline, yes,
All right.
sir.
Can I reserve the right to comment after you reveal who's on the search committee? Can I? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Okay, so let me go back to Mr. Ford.
Yes, sir. So just to clarify, because this is a very important process, Mr. Watkins, I agree with that, and I think everyone on this panel would agree as well. When we first joined the board, most of us, there were 6 of us that joined at the same time. We were all elected at the same time, and it was told to us that first meeting that our most important responsibility would be selecting a superintendent. And 3 years ago, we thought we had did just that. We thought we had did that for the long term. We hoped we did, and it's nothing against Mr. Ogeron. We don't want to be in this position that we're in today, but we are, so we're going to make the most of it. Now, by default, these K-12 jobs, the superintendent position, chief academic officer, child welfare and attendance, they all seem to get spread nationally by such websites as K-12 JobSpot, K12.com, K12.org, by default. Because when we advertise this position, they observe all of our openings and they share them, because what happens is they get internet traffic. So they have advertisers that buy space on their website, and every time someone goes from their website to ours, they're getting that feedback and they're getting those clicks. So that's how they make money. So it really is something that I don't think we have to spend a lot of money on to get the national attention that we're going to get it. I bet we're going to get some of the most qualified candidates in the state, and maybe even in the country. So I'm looking forward to that. I have no concerns with regards to that. What I am pleased about, though, is this time there is one of the first statements, which is applicants must possess at the time of application a valid Louisiana teaching certificate which documents school superintendent as an area of certification, or possess a letter from the Louisiana Department of Education certifying that their immediate eligibility to serve as school superintendent in Louisiana. So in the last process, this wasn't a requirement. I thought it should have been, and when I saw the list of applicants, I immediately, we sat here in this boardroom and I looked online to see who had that certification. And there was 3 or 4 candidates that had it at that time. Now, I can't say whether or not they had the letter of eligibility because that's not published on teachlouisiana.net. But the certification certainly is. If you look up each individual candidate, you will see if they have that certification prior to applying. What I think is, I'm all on board with this, but I would like, as part of their application packet, to provide that letter dated from Department of Education, teachlouisiana.net, to say, yes, this person is eligible for that certificate. So I know it's implied in here, but I want to make sure we get that as part of their application packet. I don't think that's the most important thing, but I think it is something that, as a teacher, I have to become certified. I could have been certified as an administrator 5 years ago when I took the test and passed it, and I have 2 master's degrees. But I have yet to seek that certification because it's all contingent on the school district or the university you study from. So there's a long process that you have to go through to get that certification. And as a superintendent, if I'm not mistaken, you have to spend 5 years as a teacher to become certified as a EDLE1, and then you have to spend 5 years as a administrator to even be candidate or be eligible for the superintendent position. So we do have some very qualified candidates in this room, and I'm hoping one or more of them apply for this position. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. Dr. Traha?
No, sir.
You good? Ms. Benoit?
Just wanted to ask Matt, as he was discussing the websites that'll possibly pick these up, what about LinkedIn?
LinkedIn is also,
Okay,
yes.
that's good.
Thank you, Ms. Benoit. Mr. DeHart?
Thank you. Well, I want to be very respectful to the public, because that's who I work for. And we all 9 of us up here are elected by the people to serve. And the duty and responsibility, I feel, if you look on that wall over there, I think I'm the only sitting board member that had 7 superintendents. Mr. Armstrong's the 7th one. And we've done, I thought, an excellent job doing our homework, the requirements, and what I see tonight about requirements is no different than what I'm seeing with other superintendents. To me, the public don't select it. They can talk to any board members, whether they live in my district or not, and voice their concerns or consideration. But I would tell you right now, serving this school system as many years as I've been here, I know there's qualified people that might be within, or we might have to go outside. But if you look at that wall up there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them out of the 7 was right here in Terrebonne Parish. And our academic success is very good, and it's because of everybody, this team that we have here. So what I'm saying to you is that, to me, I do respect the public's input. That's who put me here. But at the same time, I have the duty and responsibility as elected official to serve on this board, to voice my concern. And the only thing I'm going to say to Mr. Wazan, and I respect you as president, but every time I served as president 7 times, and I'm not bragging about that, but anytime we had a superintendent search, whether I was president or somebody else was president, we always had the 9 of us looking at things, not just having a couple board members. And listen, I have no discussion, I'm just saying against our attorney, our director of human resources, and our board secretary. But we got 9 board members, and all I see is 3 on here. I got a concern about that. But I will voice my concern all through this whole process. But I'll have the right to speak at it. But I'm just saying out of respect to all of us, no matter how many years that I served or y'all served, we, as 9 of us, is going to vote for the next superintendent. So I just feel that that's important to me. And like I say, again, from the public's perspective, I've heard many employees say this and that. I'm going to do the most qualified person. It's not going to be about politics. And all I'm saying to you, that's what I was elected to do, is to make sure education is very productive and moves forward. So I'm finished with that. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Harding?
Thank you. Actually, the last time we had this search, I was president of the board, and to answer some questions, I think what we did is that we had a committee that didn't say who was going to be superintendent. We had a committee to check the credentials, to make sure that everybody that actually interviewed had the proper credentials. So there is going to come a point in time where all 9 of us will have that opportunity to make a decision on who is the next superintendent. So I just want to make that clear that 3 people are not going to make a decision on who's going to be here. It's going to be the applicants And what they're going to do is they're going to streamline that process, and the ones that's is eligible is going to be the ones that's going to actually come and interview. The ones that's not is going to actually be kicked out. That's the way it happened 3 years ago.
Thank you, Mr. Harding. Any other board members? Okay, so, all right. The draft that was created with 4 people. And what we did was, we did the process about 3 years ago, and there was a committee. I think it was the first time that committee really did that process and together. It was over 12, 14 years, whatever. So they were kind of working off of trying to get it together. It worked. It went very well. We got a great superintendent, right? Okay. So, and we can't keep him, but anyway. But, so, what we did was we looked at all the research, everything that was done prior to what was done 3 years ago, and we stayed within our means, and we followed the rules. So what we did was our attorney, Stan Duval, Dr. Yobro, Mrs. Brunet, and myself met numerous times going through the other data and coming up with this draft. So it wasn't one person that just came up with the draft. So we just came up with the draft so that we can look at it and vote on it tonight. And not to be argumentative to anyone, but as far as the actual search committee, if needed, we couldn't have more, and we have 4 board members, not 3. We couldn't have more than 4 board members because then we'd have a quorum. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's why, but again, to repeat what Mr. Harding said, all of us are going to have a voice in this. We're all going to have a voice. So it's not just one person or 5 people or 4, whatever. It's going to be all of us having that final decision to make. So, yes, Mr. Ford?
So I don't know if you were going to ask about specifics for what's contained in the application. I think there's a couple of things that I'd like to add.
Okay, well,
So-
let me do the timeline. Let
Okay.
me get through this.
That's
and
all to
then-
make sure we
Yeah,
have
yes,
that.
sir. Okay. So the timeline is, and I think everybody has a copy at this time. Tonight, board meeting, recommendation by the board president, and announcement of superintendent search committee members to be utilized as needed. There was a search committee 3 years ago. I think y'all met once or twice to kind of iron some things out, but again, it was a new process for these board members. So that's why I think they did the committee and worked through that. And when I say it's to be utilized as needed, these are the members that will be on that committee, but we may or may not need to meet as a committee depending on the process, the timeline. So again, the 7 members would be Mr. Stan Duval, school board attorney, myself as board president, Mrs. Benoit as board vice president, Dr. Trahan as a board member, and Mr. Harding as a board member. Also, Dr. Yarbrough as Director of Human Resources, and Mrs. Brunet, the Executive Assistant to the Board. So then on October 27th through November 26th, we're going to be posting on Terrebonne Parish School Board, as well as Louisiana School Board Association, and linkage or whatever we need to do. That's where the advertisement is going to go out. Publication dates for media advertisement of superintendent positions as follows. We went, I'm pretty sure we've discussed this, there's so many things we discussed, we went above and beyond what is asked of us. So we're doing actually 2 weeks, separated by a week. The Monday, October 27, 2025, through Sunday, November 2nd, 2025, for 7 days. It'll go out as advertisement. Then we'll miss a week, and then we're going to come back on Monday, November 10th, 2025, through Sunday, November 16th, 2025. Again, another 7 days to advertise for this position. And like Mr. Ford said, I don't think it's just going to be this one spot. It goes everywhere, right? And if somebody wants to apply from Alaska, sure, if they meet the credentials, or wherever, anywhere in the country, they'll be interviewed as long as they meet those credentials. On December 2nd, 2025, board meeting, agenda item allowing for the public comments on the superintendent search. Any public can come and offer comments on who they would like. On December 9th, 2025, deadline for applicants to be postmarked. So, and that's going to be over a 3-week period, 23 days. Now, so that's the deadline for the postmark. But we're going to still receive through December 15th, closing date for applicants to be received. Okay. December 16th, 2025, opening of applications received. Again, it's just the opening of applications to be determined which ones meet the criteria. And that'll be done by Stan Duval, the board attorney, Dr. Yarbrough, Director of Human Resource, and myself as board president. January 6, 2026, board meeting, announcement of applicants to be interviewed. So after the opening of the applications, and it's all going through with a fine-tooth comb, making sure that these people have met the criteria, qualifications, then on January 6th, those candidates will be announced at a board meeting. On January 13, 2026, special board meeting, applicant interviews to be held, and that's the second Tuesday in January. So that would be, I believe at this point, our only special board meeting, and that would be the interview process. January 19th through 30th, 2026, provide individual board members additional time opportunity to contact applicants. So after the interviews, if any board member would have additional questions, because unfortunately, we do have a time limit to interview, each board member can reach out to any of the candidates for additional questions they may have, for them to clarify some of the comments they may have made. And that gives, 2 weeks? Approximately. Then February 3rd, 2026, board meeting, announcement of superintendent-elect. On February 10th, 2026, committee meetings, executive committee to be last to allow executive session to negotiate, approve new superintendent contract. So on February 10th, we'll be negotiating in executive session their contract. On March 3rd, the new superintendent-elect begins. On May 4th, 2026, the new superintendent contract begins. And that's our timeline. Any questions? Yes, sir, Mr. DeHart.
Question, sir.
Yep.
You said the committee meeting,
The committee, search committee?
all board members will get a copy of that. I know the executive committee is the one who's going to be doing it, but that would be public information if you all have agreed to do that. I'll tell my board members and more confidential.
Where you at, sir? I'm not sure where you are.
Okay. Whenever you said right here, February 10th, committee meeting, the executive committee will be last to allow executive session to negotiate approval.
Yep.
Clear? I just want to make sure that, I know y'all doing everything proper according to all the other items.
Yes, sir.
that are there. I just want to make sure we get the information as all the board members, just like we do for packets.
Absolutely, yes. We'll get all that, right?
Yes.
Yep. Mhm.
I got a question.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Were you done, Mr. DeHart? Okay. Ms. Benmore?
So, on the 13th is when we interview the applicants.
Yes.
On the 19th through the 30th, we have board members additional time to contact the
The candidates, if they wish to
candidates.
get some clarification, yes.
And so February 3rd is when we actually vote.
Yes.
But that's not stated in that. It's like assumed.
Okay. Announcement of superintendent
Yeah,
elect.
so
Said
we,
announcement. It should
yeah,
be
we
voted.
announce it, but we need to vote.
So that's the night
right.
we're voting, huh?
Yeah, we need to vote.
It's the same,
Not
Same thing,
announcement.
announcement.
that's what we had.
No,
So the vote,
Voting
so I guess
first
we
and then
could have put
announcement.
voting on and then announcement of.
yeah,
That's okay.
yeah.
Yeah, good job, Dr. I call you doctor all the time. You're my doctor. Okay, anything else, Mrs. Benmore?
No, that's good.
Okay. I
That's
want to
why
call a
it's a
doctor.
draft.
Mr. Lagarde, I believe you were next?
That's what I was asking.
Okay,
The
okay.
voting,
Yes, sir.
gonna vote.
Good catch, okay. Mr. Crowdis.
On January 13th, special board meeting, applicant interviews to be held. Will these interviews be one-on-one or 1-on-9 or?
109, yeah.
One
The
on
whole
nine.
board is going to hear. We haven't decided exactly, 15 minutes of them
Okay.
talking and then questions.
So that was-
Yeah, we're going
so-
to go,
So that was going to be part B of my question is,
Okay.
what if we have, I don't know what will
I know where
happen,
you're
but
going with
what
this,
if we
yeah.
have 15 or 20 applicants?
then we'll have to adjust that, obviously.
that's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
wanted
'cause
to
we
know
can't do
if-
it all in one night.
Correct, okay. I wanted to have a plan B,
Yeah.
just in case.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I just kind of left it there. We might get 15.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Mr. Harding, anything, sir? Since I'm on this side, I'm coming.
No, I think, I'm sorry, Matt, you get your hand up first? I'm sorry, you sure? Okay. I think last time we didn't have that many, and I think we was able to get it in,
Yes.
one night, and I think we give them 20 minutes, I believe, because of the amount of applicants that we actually had, I think we had 4 or 5, I believe.
Was it 5?
I can't remember.
6, okay.
Every 30 minutes.
We had 6, okay, all right.
The last count
Or
was
I didn't hear
every
anything
30.
about the P.O. box.
Yeah, that,
We have to
well,
wait.
that's.
It's supposed to be in the
that's
program?
It's in the no, the advertisement, no. Okay,
I
let me
think
get
that needs to
right.
be
You correct
put
me.
out there in reference with the P.O. box, how
Yeah,
we're
that's
going to
going to be
receive the
part of the
applicant.
process. That's
Okay.
why the advertisement and the application is not put out there because it's not 100%. Because we haven't gotten the PO box yet, and Dr. Yarbrough's going to work on that. So that's why, if you flip over, you'll see the other draft, that
Okay.
leaves a
All right
couple of things behind. But yes, good point. Yes, sir.
I'll let you know you're doing a good job, sir.
Oh, I don't know about that. Okay. So, yeah, so when Mr. Harding references the PO box, what he's talking about there is, once we put the applications out there, they start doing their applications, they're going to have to send it to a particular post office box that Dr. Yarbrough is going to get soon. So that it's not mixed with any other school mail. It'll be specific to that one box. So that's what he was alluding to. Yes, ma'am.
You also make sure that they know that I will go and get
Oh,
the
yes.
post office box. However, the key for the post office box will be held with Ms. Brunei. She is the only person that will go to the post office to get the applications. She keep them locked until it is time to open them in front of Mr. Duval, Mr. Barzan, and myself.
Yes, ma'am. Good. Thank you. Good point.
Lock and key.
Okay. All right, then. Bye. Thank you. Where are we at now? Mr. Ford?
So this first question is only regarding the timeline. They begin March 3rd, the contract begins May 4th. Does that mean they're working 61 days off contract?
So, yes, we looked to that as well. So the superintendent-elect. So on February 10th, correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Yarbrough, on February 10th, that's when we're negotiating and approving their contract. So part of that negotiation will be what will we be paying them in that time span, before they take over as the official superintendent.
But there is some overlap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that we talked about having. We
Yes,
definitely
sir.
want that,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, Dr. Trahan?
Is there a date determined that we start taking applications?
Well, it's going to be put out, they can start sending them as soon as they receive it. Once they fill it out, they can start sending it to the PO box. That'll be in the application process, telling them where to send it.
Start as soon as we put out the application.
Yep. If I was applying, start right away. Yeah. Good question. Any other about the timeline? Okay. I hope I can answer your question, Mr. Ford.
Now this is about the context and the content of the application. So in the previous selection process, we encouraged applicants to complete a video, to compile a video, or at the very least a narrative of their experience and what they would like to see and do here in the district. So I'd like to encourage us to have that as well. Also, on the application, I see administrative, and,
Personal, professional.
yeah, so, and that's their, studies. So I'd like a section to be added for outside experience.
Let me do that.
We should have candidates that have not spent all of their time in education, because sometimes you need to venture out and see what the real world is all about. And whether it's before you come to K-12, after, or even in the middle of, I think that experience is just as valuable as being in the school system.
So that would not cover on the page 5? Yeah, with page 5, membership in professional organizations, what they've done, offices they've held, community organizations and services, things that they've
Well, I mean,
done.
that's,
It's kind of broad, but they can put that
So-
there.
maybe we should just add a byline that says, put outside, K-12, outside K-12 experience here as well. So that would be helpful. I'd like to see that as well. And then, the last thing, of course, in the realm of K-12, I don't see where they have administrative and they have teaching, but there's nothing in the way of coaching or extracurricular, which is something that I would like to evaluate, applicants on as well. I would venture to say, looking up there on that wall, at least 80% of them were coaches and teachers, or they were, I'm sure 100% of them were some sort of club sponsor or something while they were
Right.
in the schools. So that is valuable, experience.
I don't see why we can't add that to the application. That should be okay. Oh, Dr. Yarbrough, yeah. The only thing, me personally, I mean, I agree with everything you've said. I don't think, I don't know, and I might just be one of 9, that we need a video, like we did before, of the person.
So I use the
Of
word
the ca-
encourage,
Okay,
not require.
okay. I don't know.
Pleased when we did receive videos, from the applicants.
Yeah.
That's part of their application.
So it's not, it's optional.
It's optional, yes.
Okay. If they want to provide a video, it would be optional. We don't have to put it in. Y'all good with that? Okay. Any other board members? Okay. So where are we with this now? Make sure I got this right. That's the recommendation? So we went. we'll have to go on. Hold on, that's what I'm doing.
You asked me where we are.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would just want to make sure. So at this point, do
If y'all
I?
have finished discussion,
Yes.
then you have to, the motion's now, the recommendation is now on the floor.
Right, so now we would, yep, okay. All right,
And
so.
excuse me,
Yes, sir.
Did you make the draft that you have now? You made notations to make some minor adjustments to it?
Yeah,
So
I think.
the adjustments that you made to the initial draft,
Draft
can you
needs
just
to
maybe
be-
just repeat that back out so we exactly all know we were voting on?
And I think the only thing we've changed, I believe, was the February 3rd board meeting, voting on and then announcement of.
Yes.
Okay, and everything else I think remained the same, or we could put linkage, whatever it's called, LinkedIn, yeah.
I think you'll discuss some changes to the application to include other work.
Yeah, but as far as the timeline was what we're looking at here. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, so I think Mrs. Brunet got those notes to make some adjustments to the application, correct?
If-
Okay.
Now, if I can, one easy way to have this, where we add the outside experience, would just be a section that says, any additional relevant information you'd like to include. Applicants can put, they worked for the CIA, they spent 8 years in the military, something like that. That's considered relevant. It's part of their broad,
Yeah.
overall experience, so yeah.
Yeah, and I think that would come in their resume as well, but, yeah.
I don't see anything about resume.
Okay. Sure, we can do that. Okay, anything else? Is that it? Yes. I don't know. Okay, back to public? Yes, sir.
Couple of comments. The one thing I didn't understand was that Louisiana certification but that doesn't automatically disqualify somebody from out of state. They just have to meet those same criteria. I didn't quite understand that.
There is a statement regarding anyone that's from out of state. Where is it at? I read it.
I mean, somebody from out of state can meet those criteria.
Yes.
It doesn't disqualify.
If you are
Okay.
not a certified,
Yeah, they would have to,
not
right.
certified in Louisiana.
But they're able to, if they're
yes,
able to.
Your application must be accompanied by a written confirmation from Louisiana Department of Education that you are eligible. So this reminds me of a question I forgot to ask, and it's really for Dr. Yarbrough, and she may know, she should know. Does Louisiana offer reciprocity for any other states in the union or certain states? Do you know?
Anyone that has a superintendent certification in another state, we just have to have Louisiana Department of Education review their credentials, and they will give them a letter saying, yes, your credentials meet what Louisiana requires in the superintendent.
Okay. The only downfall to that is Louisiana Department of Education is not the most efficient.
Oh, come on.
I'm sure they would be expeditious with something like this, though, I'm sure, because it is important. Yeah.
Right. And the other, I just have two more comments. One is the construction of the search committee. A search committee in the private sector is used for two reasons. Number one, to identify the qualifications and the criteria for the job, which you already guys have pretty well established, so the search committee wouldn't have to do that. But which the search committee's main function is to take the application, say you get 40 applications that meet your criteria. On your process, you're interviewing all of them if they pass through. The search committee is supposed to take the applications and give you the best qualified candidates, so you can have much more quality time and interview time for qualified candidates. And Roger, you're shaking your head. If you're going to interview 20 candidates,
You're not gonna choose it, I'm gonna choose
no, I'm not choosing anything. The search committee will choose the candidates they
And
think
if we do end up with 40, and then that's when the search committee, as needed, could get together.
could refine them.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Absolutely.
And the other thing about the search committee, I think the structure of it needs to include some outside sources. One would be the superintendent. The other would be a teacher, an administrator, an education professional like Christine Strickland at Chancellor at Fletcher,
Yes,
or
I
Dean
spoke
at
with
Nichols.
her already, yes.
I think those would be good members to have on the search committee to get an outside perspective.
Right.
And help you guys.
And to kind of, I mean, without getting into too much detail, I did speak with Dr. Yarbrough and Ms. Brunet about sending some type of an email out to all the schools with 2 or 3 basic questions, and their site committee can answer it briefly, and then we can receive those and see what they're looking for.
Yeah, just to get some input from like the foot soldiers
Yeah,
out there in
yeah,
the system,
absolutely.
you know,
People
that are-
in the
that are
trenches,
on the
yes.
battle lines, right,
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
Those are the
Take
only
one second,
I think that would help you arrive at the best candidate.
Right,
Because
right,
now that
right.
you're gonna go LinkedIn, you're gonna get national exposure, you're gonna get a lot of
Yes, sir.
candidates, apply
Mm-hmm.
that could be successful. And like you said, they may be sitting right here, you know, the best candidate, but the job is to find the best candidate.
Yes, sir.
But I'd love to see some diversity on the search committee with outside people, including, because right now your committee is just board members and staff. There's nobody from the outside, no teachers, no students, no lay people. I just think it's something you might want to consider.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Watkins.
Yeah.
Mr. Lagarde.
Sir, do you represent an organization, or are you just an individual
I do not. I'm just a
concerned?
citizen. Yeah, I do not represent anybody but myself.
No specific organization? that
I'm
you're
actually
tied
with
to?
the Teachers Association. No, I don't represent anybody. I just represent myself. That's it.
Wait, hold on. Mr. Harding?
Yeah, I think, I appreciate you coming up with the comments, but I think we get the misconception of the search committee. I think it's gonna be cut and dry. Whether you got a teacher on there, whether you got a plumber, whoever you got on the committee, it's gonna be cut and dry who is eligible and who's not eligible.
Right.
So.
Yeah, if you're accepting all the eligible
Yeah, it's gonna be cut
candidates
and
for
dry.
interview,
It's
then
gonna be
there's
cut
no
and dry.
decision to be made.
And
Right.
I wouldn't wanna be on that search committee and condensing it down. I think we all need to make that choice, whether we be here 10 days or not, interviewing.
Yeah,
I
it could
think we
take-
all
right.
need to make that choice on who's the most qualified
And that's certainly
person.
your right to do that, but like you say, it's just elongated process,
And
correct?
so be it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have no problem with that.
Thank you. Dr. Trahan.
I just wanted the input that, as state law says, a
Yes. Yeah.
And it's the none of us. It doesn't say anything about Shaver being outside.
Yeah.
State law says that, and you know, the search committee is doing a lot of that work for choosing the next,
Superintendent, yeah.
and pushing along the process. So I don't know how that would work with the law saying it must be done by the board members. Bringing someone from outside, we have got to get that looked at.
Yeah. Well, I think, yeah, you're correct, but I think we as a board want to be as informed as possible and include as many people in the community because it's what's best for the kids. You know, I think that's where we are. And look, I encourage all the board members because I'm going to come visit a lot of people very soon in this central office and other places just to get their input. You know, I think we should all reach out to people in the trenches here, as well as, you know, like I said, I'm going to try to do something for the schools as well and get input so we can all look at that and evaluate. Because, you know, yeah, 9 people make that decision, but we want to be very informed and know who's in the trenches and what they see and, you know, who's the best candidate, you know? So, but again, we make that decision, but with the input of and I think that's where we're going with all that.
My experience from last go around,
Mhm.
we all get a lot of feedback from our constituents.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's what we want. Yeah,
And that's always good.
yeah, yeah. Good.
And
Miss-
thank you for the chance to speak. I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
that.
Yeah, thank you for coming. We appreciate it. Y'all wanted anything for him? Mr. Ford? Okay, wait, I'm sorry. I'm gonna just come this way.
Mr. Watkins, thank you for coming. I appreciate your interest in this process. It can be a daunting process, especially when you hear all the snickers and the whispers about, you know, the selection's already been made. It's just a matter of time, and you have public officials in Terrebonne Parish lobbying and advocating for certain people, and which is kind of discouraging because, you know, it kind of defeats us as board members. It can be a little deterrent whenever it comes down to the entire process. But I was asked by a couple of teachers who are actually on the ERC if they could have input, if we could send out some sort of option for them to send questions in. You know how ERC sends questions through their representative, and there's a requirement to get answers. They did ask, a couple of them approached me and asked me if we could set something up like that where potential candidates would have the same questions. They would all receive the same questions, and they would sort of answer those questions in narrative form. You can even write it or whatever, and disseminate that to the people in the district.
Right.
Now, when we ran for school board initially, almost 8 years ago, I think it was the Courier or someone sent out a questionnaire and asked us all to fill it out. And, you know, this was my first time running for public office on this scale, of course. So I obliged them. I filled it out. And next thing you know, I was getting, you know, email correspondence, phone calls. And some of the questions they asked us at the debates, I had no idea about. I hadn't been on the board yet. I was a
Yes,
teacher in the
exactly.
district, but I had no idea of the inner workings of the school system. So, you know, I may have sounded a little bit off-putting at that time just because I didn't know. And I wasn't going to make something up, or I wasn't going to lie to them. So I'm saying all that because I would like potential candidates to know, hey, these are the type of things that the people of this school district, the stakeholders, not just employees, but the parents, the students, these are the type of things they're looking to find out about you or where you stand on certain things. So maybe if we had some sort of compilation of those questions, or at least those statements, to give them prior to them coming the night before, when they do get interviewed, essentially. The other thing is, I do want to say this, and Mr. Watkins made a point about someone being on the search committee, the current superintendent. Sometimes that can be troublesome. In this situation, I think because our current superintendent is well-known throughout the community, especially in higher education, whether it be Fletcher, whether it be Nicholls State University, Delgado, they all know who Bubba is. You tell them, I just had a conversation with Bubba, they know exactly who you're talking about. I think in this situation, it would behoove us to have him involved with the process. Now, I'm not saying he would have a vote, of course, but to make those connections, because, you know, people speak highly of Christine Strickland, she's at Fletcher. You know, the president at Nichols, Jay Kloon, he's known well known throughout South Louisiana. We've never really seen him in Terrebonne Parish, but he has a connection with Mr. Ogeron, so he can have some input also. And these are the people that, as K-12 educators, we should be looking up to. So I think their input would be valuable as well. So thank you for your suggestion, and I know we're going to make the right choice. I hope we are.
Yes.
Because we only have one choice to make. Thank
So
you.
just let me, one of the things you said, the ERC, Representative, isn't that a person that is already on the site committee at that school? Or the ERCs, so that would cover that email? So that would cover the ERC, you know how you mentioned that?
Yeah, if we
Yeah.
want to disseminate it to them, that would be just as fine, yes.
So, and, you know, the data would come
And
still
they
from
could
the
fill
school, and
those
they're part of
questions
that,
and send it,
so
yeah.
it's kind of overlapping.
ERC is Employee Representative Committee. Each school has a rep on this committee that meets monthly.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. Mr. DeHart.
Thank you. I want to make this comment very positively intended. Whenever I ran for the school board, my saying was to keep students first. Their needs, the accountability, and make sure they progress. And what I'm saying to you right now, we the board, whenever we were sworn in, have a responsibility, and I'm saying this very respectively and not no insult to nobody that said any other comments. Us 9 is going to select the superintendent. And us, the superintendent we have right now, Mr. Angeron, he works for this board. Everybody else works for him. So what I want to keep that intact because it's productive, because guess what? He knows more than any of us about education. We might have a lot of knowledge in different areas, but he's an all-around candidate, and if he wouldn't have been successful, our grades wouldn't have been where they are. So what I'm saying to you that, to me, I'm not going to allow politics to interfere with my responsibility, and it's not about politics. It's about trying to make the best choice for our children. And if I do anything for the children of Terrebonne Parish, I'm doing things for the employees who do the job. And that's why I'm saying the superintendent works for us and everybody else works for him. And that is really and truly a strong statement, a respectable statement, whether we agree with some things that go on whenever we have to vote, just like tonight. Whether I voted no for something, it wasn't that I don't want it done. I just trying to do, I think, a better decision. I'm not right all the time, and some of us might choose to do something a little different. So out of respect to each one of us that serve up here, we all have the responsibility to elect a superintendent and select it.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, young man, are you wanting to discuss something about what we're talking about or something different?
Of course, it's about what you're talking about.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Okay. Yes, please come up. Okay. Because I wanted to get this vote done.
My name is Wendell Shelby Wallace. I just have one point to bring to your attention about the process timeline that you have.
Okay. Say yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Wendell Shelby Wallace, 7538 Main Street, Houma, Louisiana, 70360. My question is regarding the timeline that's in front of us. When I look at the timeline, it mentions that December 2nd, 2025, an agenda item allowing for public comments of the superintendent search will be placed. This is prior to releasing information about who the applicants are.
This is prior to what now?
Releasing the information about who the applicants are.
Yes. Yeah.
So when will the time period be for public comment regarding the applicants?
Oh, you talked, okay, so we're opening that up on December 2nd for the public to come and tell us.
About the process,
about-
correct.
Well, about their interest in who, you know, and the characteristics they're looking for in a superintendent. So then, the applications will come in. So
That's-
you're asking about
So that's correct. You're asking about the qualifications portion, which at this point, we could offer that now. My point is, as it relates to who the actual applicants are, will there be any public input regarding the actual applicants? Like after they've applied, after we know who they are, will there be any public feedback?
No.
None whatsoever. So there is really, outside of the qualifications for the superintendent, there's really no interest in public input on the actual applicants,
Well, that's all
on the
taken-
selection
that's all
process
gonna be
itself.
taken into consideration by the board to make those decisions. Yep. And we're going to have a lot of input from outside. Yep.
I guess my question is not coming through clear. If the applications come in and you're saying that you want public input on the selection process, right? Not just the application process, on the selection process, where is the time period for public input to occur for the selection process? Where is that on the
There
on the
is
timeline?
no timeline for public comments after we've received the applications. That's
Okay,
the
so there
question.
is no
None.
input from
No,
the
sir.
public on the selection process? Okay, that was my only question.
Okay, thank you.
I got a question.
Yes, Mr. Lagarde.
I thought, I'm thinking, he said after we interview, when we interview the candidates, they want to have input or ask the candidate questions or?
No.
Or, I mean, just
Not the
input
public,
in,
yeah.
so they can't have like, okay, we saw candidate number 5, we like candidate number 5, or
No.
they're not going. So what's the process of asking the schools what they want? We know what they want, but if they can't see the people, there's no interest if we don't see the people. They're not voting on the candidate, but they could tell us.
Well, we're
or
not
ask
looking for the
small-
public to tell us they want Mr. A or Mr. B or Mr. C. They're telling us what they're looking for in a superintendent. So that's the input we're going to get. And then from there, we have to make a decision which candidate would fit that best.
But then, like you said, we're not getting no input because we know the qualifications. Everybody, if we got 20 people meet the same qualifications, we're gonna interview them, but then the public still have no input. They're just gonna watch the process. They might say, oh, I like number 5, but they're just gonna watch the process. I know we gonna vote on it. So they gonna come to us then, what you saying, they're gonna come to us.
They
and
can
say,
tell
hey,
you they like number 5.
Hey, I like
yeah.
number 5, or
Yeah.
can you? But they still don't have an input. Say, hey, I wouldn't mind. We may not ask a question because we're gonna get 3 questions. They might have a question like, hey, could you ask number 5 this question? But it'll never get asked.
Well, it could get asked, but if a constituent reaches out to you and says, I like number 5, but can you ask this number 5 question? Then that's why we got that timeline, wherever the thing is, I think January 19th through the 30th.
That's when I can ask them.
Yes, that's when you can reach out to that candidate. Yes, sir, Mr. Ford.
I want to encourage you and anyone else in this district, whether they're District 3, 1 through 9, to email me if you have questions, concerns, or you have something about a candidate that you would like us to look into or something to consider, because I want to hear from anybody who has a vested interest in this opportunity, this position. That being said, the best thing to do, sit down for 5 minutes and send me an email, because you will get a response. Okay, you can send it to everyone else, but I know from myself, you will get a response, and we will have some dialogue there. So that's for you, for Mr. Watkins, anybody else that has an interest or a concern. I will definitely enter that dialogue with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. Dr. Trahan.
Bring up the same point. As a board member, I don't only speak for myself, but my constituents are parish-wide, and not just in my district. Because once you're elected to the board, you represent the entire district. When we did this 3 years ago, I had phone calls on a daily basis, I had emails on a daily basis. All my public was able to come to me, and I was able to bring that together, find the thread that they wanted to talk about, and find a way to get that information either from the candidate at the interview or during that time period between the time we accept the applications that we have that time period to call the candidates. I was able to get those questions asked by directly to each individual questions
reached out to you.
me to make a comment or have their voice heard for our new superintendent.
Yep.
And I'm sure that all of the other board members are happy to see this here,
Yep.
or something close to it.
Good, thank you, Dr. Trahan. Mr. Harding.
Last comment, also, to let the public know that, Mr. Shelby, if you can approach this board anytime between the superintendent search as a concerned citizen and come in and speak on that mic and say what you're looking for in a superintendent, what you think a qualified person or what you think the next person need to be in order to lead this district. You can do that as many times as you want to within that time frame. So you're welcome also to do that also too.
Yes, Mr. Lagarde.
Mr. Shelby, do you represent an organization or an individual, or are you just a concerned individual?
Okay, good. Any other board members? Okay, so now we have to vote on this, correct? Okay, so the recommendation, I don't need to read the recommendation again, do I? No, because we've already, or should I?
I guess you're,
Except that presented.
I would maybe ask for amendment because you've changed it so much, so just say as amended for discussion or something.
Trust me, we'll let you know if you didn't include it.
Okay, so read the recommendation again.
Anybody, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, does anybody have an amended recommendation?
No,
Yeah.
okay.
You
So,
do.
oh,
The recommendation is as it was, as presented.
Okay.
We have now had a discussion and amended portions of the documents. So I think that the proper way to handle it would be to have an amended motion to, someone recommend, and then to amend the motion to include amendments
So-
per discussion.
So could we just, in the recommendation that's already written, could we change as presented to as amended?
Yes, but someone has to make that motion to amend the motion to say,
I would like to make a motion.
would you please? Yes. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Okay. So I'd like to make a motion to amend the recommendation to read as follows, that the board begin the advertising process for the superintendent of schools pursuant to policy file C-3.1 and C-3.3, approve as amended the search process for superintendent inclusive of superintendent application form and interview timeline, search committee to be utilized as needed, and timeline for superintendent appointment, and further designate Dr. Deborah Yarborough, Director of Human Resources, to oversee the process, information to be placed period after to oversee the process.
So,
Got a second by Mr. Harding.
okay.
discussion public.
Do I
Public?
have any public discussions on the amended recommendation? Do, you made the motion.
Oh, okay, so I was letting him go, man. He was doing a good job.
I'm getting
Okay.
carried away here.
Okay, so the motion was made by Mr. Crowdis. You're doing a good job, man. Amendment made by Mr. Crowdis, second by Mr. Harding, correct? Public comments, none. Mr. Crowdis,
No, sir.
thank you. And Mr. Harding, none. Any other board members? Any objections? The amended motion passes. Recommendation. All right. Yeah, that's okay. So we're done with that. So next is we adjourn.